Hey, what's going on, everybody? Justin here, and it's been a little while, but I have my voice back after dealing with COVID and stuff. But during the time off, I built myself some new bookshelves here that I'm really pleased with. Just really like the way they look and everything, so it definitely is a different setup. I actually still have the sort of my nature reference library, I'm going to call it, sort of the shelves that I've been using for the past year or so. They're still actually on the other side of the room there, so we might change it up every now and then, but they're pretty empty because a lot of my nature books got moved to this wall. It's like kind of an L1, so there's a lot more shelf. There's two more sections of like this basically right here and right there. But we will be doing a library tour at some point. So let me know down in the comments if you like library tours. Would you rather one giant long video where each book is like super like lightning quick, or kind of break it up into lots of videos where it's more of like a commentary, like on each shelf, like my nature stuff, and then like my ancient classical history, and then my medieval history, and then my fantasy books and stuff like that. Let me know down in the comments below how you like to sort of see that sort of thing. But like I said, I'm really pleased with how it came out. Plus, I gave myself, as you can see, I got like some room for expansion of like my folio collection and stuff. But anyways, on to this video. This is gonna be the February TBR. In January, I was 3 for 5 out of the 5 I picked. So we're gonna pick another 5 and try to make it 4 for 5, I guess. Something like that. But let's just go ahead and get started. And the first one here is actually going to be the audiobook that I plan on listening to, that I don't obviously have a physical copy for, and it is Medieval Bodies, Life and Death in the Middle Ages by Jack Hartnell. And I was kind of looking for a medieval history book, and this sounded just really good. I think someone recommended me this book in in a comment at some point in time, though I wasn't able to find it, so I do apologize for whoever I was going to give you a shout out. But if it was you, just leave a comment down in this video as well. But anyways, it seems to be all about the different body parts of people and how those alive in the Middle Ages during the medieval period actually viewed your hands and your eyes and your stomach and your different organs and body parts and stuff, and how they actually viewed them, and kind of what they thought, maybe how they worked, and really what they actually thought about them and stuff, because it was just definitely a different sort of mindset, I suppose. It just sounded really interesting, and like I said, I was kind of looking for a medieval book, so I think that fit the bill. And it's by one of an audiobook narrator that I really love, Michael Page. He's one of my favorite guys to listen to when I do audiobooks every now and then, so definitely I'll be looking forward to that one over the course of February. So now let's go on to some of the other history books here. I have a pen and sword history book that I plan on reviewing after I finish it, and it's Natal Barca's Rome's Sicilian Slave Wars, The Revolts of Eunice and Salvius, 136 to 132 and 105 to 100. There's actually usually considered 3 slave wars during the Roman Republican era, and the only one that people have ever heard of that's pretty famous is the Spartacus Rebellion, which is actually the third one, which took place in mainland Italy. But there were, as the title of this book kind of demonstrates, there were other slave revolts and uprisings that occurred, a couple generations before, especially on the island of Sicily. And I don't know pretty much anything about them. I knew they existed just from reading some other stuff, but nothing in any description whatsoever. But yeah, these pen and sword books deal with really particular history topics. So I think it'll be really cool to kind of just learn about these other revolts that occurred. Like I said, Spartacus sort of, maybe perhaps rightly so or whatever, overshadows the other ones. These ones were probably smaller scale if they were contained to the island of Sicily and whatnot. But this sort of lays the foundation and kind of a framework to kind of I guess setting context for the Spartacus Rebellion was not just a purely isolated incident. So definitely looking forward to learning more about that. Alright, next up is one more history book, and I got a medieval book, a Roman history book, and I got a Greek one, and it's one of the ones I think I mentioned in my 22 book that I want to read, I guess, the month of 2022, the year 2022, and it's Paul Cartledge's The Spartans. And if you've been following my channel, you probably know I actually don't really like the Spartans at all, but I got this book and Thermopylae by Paul Cartledge, and I really enjoy his writing style, and I've read his Thebes and reviewed it. Thebes is one of my favorite cities. Thebes and Corinth are my favorite city-states, or Greek polis. from the ancient world. But like I said, Sparta I really can't stand. Athens isn't like too far behind, but Sparta I really can't stand. But I feel like I need to do the author justice just because I really like his writing style and everything. And obviously Sparta and Athens are just gonna have more written about them just because we have more. Well, I guess in Athens we got more like literature and pretty much everything. Sparta, I think, just more as like kind of a foil in the literary sources and whatnot. There just is more on those two city-states and whatnot. But like I said, maybe I'll come to appreciate Sparta a little bit more. I'm thinking probably not, but we will give it a go, and I figure I might as well read this one before the more specific Thermopylae book. But I've had these ones for a long time, and I just have never gotten to it. Actually, I want to say I started this one like years and years ago, but just never finished it for whatever reason, probably because I don't like the Spartans. But we're gonna give it a real go this time and actually see what it's all about. I guess not that I don't really know the Spartans. I've read so many Greek history books. I guess that's partly why I don't know, sometimes the introductory books, I mean, I think it's still good to like continue reading I guess topics you already know a little bit about, but hopefully in a little bit more depth. Like I said, a lot of my Greek history books obviously deal with Sparta, but like I said, I think I read one other book just particularly on Spartan. I didn't come away like liking them anymore, but anyways, let's go on to the two nature books that I want to read. And the first one's going to be Sightlines by Kathleen Jamie, a conversation with the natural world. And this one, the John Burroughs Medal, I believe, in 2014, 2015, something like that. And I have this vague idea of like reading a majority of the like John Burroughs medal winners and like the Sigurd Olson Nature Writing Award winners over the past many years, I guess, just because I don't have enough books already to like read and whatnot, and I think those are probably the two most prestigious I guess environmental nature writing literature awards that I know of. There are a whole slew of other smaller ones as well, but anyways, this book is a whole just like kind of string of vignettes on just different like observations and little anecdotes that the author I guess just happened to come across during her travels and just her life and things, dealing with like environmental things and being out in the natural world and stuff. Just sounds like something, I guess, like when you sit down and go, I want to be a nature writer, this is sort of what it like kind of like I guess this gets distilled into. But usually nature writing is kind of more on like more specific topics nowadays compared to like kind of like I said, the older style was more just kind of like musings and more vignette stuff. So I think it'll be kind of like refreshing to kind of do a little bit of change of pace and read Sightlines. So hopefully it's really good. I mean, it won, like I said, it won the John Burroughs Medal, so it's probably pretty good. And lastly, we have John Garrick's No Shortage of Good Days. And I've mentioned a couple of his other books, like Still Life with Brook Trout and Fly Rod Drone. It's weird because, it's literally like a fishing book, but it's like fishing and philosophy and just kind of like musings and observations on like the human condition and stuff. It's so good. He's basically like almost like just a real life down to earth sort of therapist who also like likes to fish and whatnot, and his writing just just comes down to us readers as just like I said, almost just like life advice. I don't even know how to explain it. It's just really good. I was talking to my friend Tim a couple days ago when we were doing the book when he was helping with the bookshelves and stuff, and came across like the 3 or 4 books I have by this author. He asked me about them because I think he probably thought it was weird that I have like fishing books or whatever. But I kind of like told him about it, and he put one of them on his TBR and whatnot. So I guess that got me thinking, I might as well read the ones that I already have. So we're gonna go for No Shortage of Good Days. I really love the other 2 that I read. So I'm hoping it's just it's like, I don't know, it just makes you feel good because it's like I said, it's fishing, nature, and like philosophy mixed together. So just really kind of like light and good and just crisp. I don't know, that's the adjective I'm gonna give it. Just like nice, just clean and crisp writing. Really enjoy it. So those are the 5 books that I'm gonna try and read at least 4 of during the month of February. Let me know what you plan on reading in the month of February, and also, like I said, leave a comment down below about if you enjoy library tours, how you would kind of like to watch it, I guess, if that makes any sense. But thank you so much for watching. Definitely check out Instagram and my Etsy shop and everything like that. And always remember, whatever you're reading in the month of February, read victoriously.